welcome to another video. I'm starting this one much later than usual. I was just going to bed and about to fall asleep, and I thought, oh no, I haven't started it. And I was like, oh, it doesn't matter, I'll do it tomorrow. And then a few minutes later, I started burping and dry heaving. It woke me up, obviously, which is bad, but it's good because I get to start the video now. Hopefully my burping subsides soon. It has been a lot better in the nights since I started taking the antiemetic, but every so often I get a flare-up, I suppose you'd call it. So I'm going to go to bed and hopefully I sleep well once I can actually get to sleep. Today hasn't been great. I had a really bad herx. I had a really intense pain day. It started with a headache when I woke up, and then it kind of moved to my jaw and kind of into my face, and then it was in my neck, and then it was just all over. So I spent most of the day curled up in bed watching Gilmore Girls. And it's funny because I have had quite a few good days. I mean, they're not really good days, but they're good days in comparison to what I've been having for the past month. So, you know, I'm going to call them good days. So I've had quite a few good days in the past week or so. And when I have several good days and then have a bad day, the bad day seems to hit me harder. So this afternoon I pretty much went to pieces. My emotions were all over the place. I didn't know what was going on. That's crazy. I know some people associate negative mental health with herxes, like you can have psychological herxes as well as physical herxes. And maybe that's why I felt so terrible today. It was another element. But I definitely feel better now than I did this morning and this afternoon. So that is good. And hopefully I'll sleep better than I did last night. I woke up quite a lot, burping and dry heaving. And again, it wasn't as terrible as it has been over the past month, but it still was there and annoying. I don't know why I feel like I have to preface my symptoms like that. Well, it's bad, but it's not as bad as it was. And it's just like, I don't know why I do that. I guess because there's not enough different words for the levels of bad I feel. Or maybe I need to make up a scale. That would be a good idea. I'm just rambling now. I'm going to go to bed and hopefully tomorrow is a better day. So I just did another 20 minutes of yoga, which I'm really pleased about. I'm going to try and do it once a week and see how that goes. I'd really like to try and get back into more of a routine doing it more regularly. Because I tell you something, I didn't realise how much of a bad shape my body, in terms of my muscles and my joints and everything, how bad it is until I do yoga. Whatever pose I'm doing, every muscle that is being, I was going to say stressed. I guess that is the right word because I don't use them. So they're under stress, you know, they're holding me up, they're being stretched. Every muscle hurts and shakes as well. Kind of funny story actually, because I was talking to my counsellor about wanting to kind of try to get back into yoga and to exploring seeing an osteopath and looking into getting lymphatic drainage massages as well. She was like, the osteopath is quite brutal. You will need to tell them that you haven't moved in 4 years. You need to be really blunt about that because, you know, that means you need to go a lot more slowly. And I was like, that's true, I haven't moved in 4 years. It was just like, oh, because I don't think of it like that. I try not to think about it, but every so often it just sneaks up on me. Okay, I just had the biggest laughing fit with my mum, like absolutely hysterical. My stomach hurt, my head hurt, my jaw hurt, it was crazy. And now I think I might have, for the first time, induced a migraine through laughing. I didn't even know this was possible. Well, pretty much anything is possible in the chronic Lyme world, but still, this is a first for me. If anyone else has had this experience, please let me know because it's very weird. Yeah, so it's just getting going now. So I wanted to record something quickly before it gets too bad to look at a screen. Yesterday, for the first time in 5 months, I was actually hungry. Dun dun dun! I know, crazy, right? It's very, very weird for me, but enjoyable because that's clearly a good sign that my appetite is coming back a bit. Not so much today, but hey, it swings in roundabouts. I'm going to go to bed now because my headache is cranking up and hopefully it'll be gone when I wake up. Look at me, I'm about to leave the house for something not medical related. First time that's happened since August, I think. So what's that? Just too many months, I don't even want to count. I'm not going very far. I'm going to a supermarket that's about a 5-minute walk away from my house, but we're going to drive because the route that you'd walk there is not wheelchair accessible. I'm going to buy some flowers for my mum for Mother's Day, and even though it's just small, I'm excited and looking forward to it. So I'm back now. It was a successful trip. Let me show you what I got. So I got several bunches of tulips. They're in a slightly strange place. They're actually underneath my desk, and I've draped this over the top to hide them. Because obviously my mum comes into my room quite a lot and I don't want her to see them before Sunday. So I've had to hide them in a slightly weird way. Okay, so I have my orangey, reddy, yellowy tulips and my pinky purple tulips. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off all the kind of lower stems, and then I'm going to mix them in together to make one big bunch of tulips. And I've saved the wrapping they came in the hope that I can kind of make it into one big wrapping. But we'll see how this goes. I'm feeling quite optimistic, but I'll have to wait and see how long my energy lasts for. So I've stripped off the lower leaves. There's a huge pile of them there. I did break 2 of them, but I think I'm just gonna wrap a bit of ribbon around them and stick them in the bag with the presents. And this is the finished product. I'm really pleased with it. I trimmed the stems quite short, and then I cut down the plastic wrapping that it came in. I cut about half of it off, and then I just wrapped it round again and fastened it with an elastic band. So I appear to have given myself another migraine with all that activity. That sounded slightly sarcastic, but it was a lot of activity for me to do. So here I am, lying in bed once again. Actually, the pain in my jaw is almost as intense as the pain in my head. Don't know what's going on. Thankfully, my headache receded enough for me to finish my wrapping, and I wrote my card and everything. So everything is ready for tomorrow now. Phew. I've definitely overdone it today. I just hope so much that I don't have too bad payback tomorrow, so that I'm actually able to enjoy the day slightly with my mum. I'm going to go to bed now. I hope I sleep well. I'm so exhausted. Unfortunately, I did suffer quite bad payback today. Not so much in my energy, although that hasn't been great, but more in my pain. I haven't really been able to do much for my mum today, and that's got me down quite a lot because she does so much for me. Yeah, it's crazy the amount she does for me. She seemed to like what we got her. She liked the flowers and she liked the presents, so that was really nice. I'm really tired now though, because the clocks went forward an hour last night. British summertime officially begins apparently, but it meant that we lost an hour of sleep, and for me that's a big deal. So I'm hoping that I'll make up for it tonight. Fingers crossed. Tomorrow, I'm hoping, touch wood, that nothing goes wrong tonight. I'll finally be having my diabetic eye screening. And I think we can all agree that's been a long time in coming. I think I've cancelled this appointment 3 times before now. Generally, I'm not a superstitious person, but for some reason I'm really worried that something's going to happen, which means I won't be able to go. But fingers crossed, everything will be alright. Haven't been feeling great today. And actually, when I made my lunch, it was really hard work. Anytime I have to stand up for more than, I would say, a minute, I start to feel dizzy and lightheaded and completely exhausted, and I have brain fog because all the blood, because I have POTS, all the blood drains to my feet and it can't get back to my head where I need it. So anytime I have to stand up for any more than a minute, it's very hard work. And obviously I have to stand up for more than a minute when I go and get my lunch. And for some reason that was just harder today than it has been the last few weeks. So that was a little bit disappointing. But I managed it. I made it. That's the main thing. I'm gonna go to bed now and just, I hope that I feel good tomorrow. Or at least okay. Lyme's laughing at me again. It took me a long time to get to sleep last night. Hours and hours and hours. It was gone midnight by the time I finally fell asleep. And that was because I was burping and dry heaving again. That would have been enough in itself to make it a bad night's sleep, and indeed it was a bad night's sleep. But I then woke up at 6:30 with period pains. And I don't talk a lot about how my period affects my chronic illness and my health overall. I don't really know why. I guess it's still kind of a taboo subject, and I don't want to gross people out, which is weird because I talk about literally everything else in terms of my health. I'm under investigation for endometriosis and PCOS, and if I do have either one of those, then I'll probably be talking about it a lot more. So I should probably start now. The reason I'm able to talk
is because I've got one heat pack on my front and one heat pack on my back, and that by no means gets rid of the pain but keeps it under control and at a bearable level, which is lucky because sometimes even with heat packs and painkillers and plenty of sleep, it's still sometimes so excruciating that I can't move, talk. It's not at that stage yet, which means it's promising that I'll actually be able to make my appointment today. We'll just have to wait and see how the pain pans out, how I feel overall. So I'm going to have some breakfast now and take some painkillers, even though they will not do anything in the slightest. But hey, it's worth a try, and just hope that it doesn't get any worse. So I've just got dressed and I'm just getting ready to go. I'm not going to leave for about half an hour, but I like to give myself plenty of time to get ready, because if I just end up rushing at the end, then it just makes me feel terrible. But I just wanted to take a moment to explain why exactly I'm going for a diabetic eye screening. As some people who are watching might already know, I got diagnosed with type 2 diabetes probably in the middle of last year. When I went for my first appointment at the diabetes clinic, he gave me a whole folder and told me all these things that, people with diabetes have to do. And one of the things you have to do every year is have a diabetic eye screening. You'll have tiny capillaries in your eyes that obviously carry blood to them, and sometimes they can die, which means it can affect your vision and sometimes make you go blind. So what they're going to do is they're going to put drops in my eyes that are going to make my pupils expand. It's also going to make my vision go blurry, which is kind of freaking me out, but gotta go with it. And then they're going to look in the back of my eyes to look at the capillaries and see if everything's healthy. And I have to have this done every year now for the rest of my life. And that's kind of a scary prospect. But I'm just going to focus on this first appointment for now. So I'm back now. It was really nice to be able to be pushed in my wheelchair to this appointment instead of having to go in the car, because it meant I got to have a little bit of fresh air, which really doesn't happen very often. I only had to wait 5-10 minutes. The nurse who was administering the test was really lovely. As I said, I was supposed to have drops put in my eyes to enlarge my pupils, but apparently my pupils were large enough already. So she said I didn't need the drops, which was fantastic because that was the thing I was kind of anxious about. It's a similar thing to the opticians when you put your chin on a thing and they take a picture of your eye. In fact, it's exactly like that, but I guess they're just looking for different things. So it was really, really quick. I think I was in there probably like just over 5 minutes, and then I just got to go back home again. I was so glad it went quickly because I was in a lot of pain. I am in a lot of pain. Actually, my pain levels have been increasing since I got back, and it's really bad again. Not just my period pains, but also the nerve pain I get in my face is really bad as well, and my jaw. So I'm going to lie with my face on a hot water bottle. Yeah, I'm gonna lie down now. I'm so tired. Wow. Today has been quite hectic. So you know that I emailed my doctor's surgery asking if I could get a repeat prescription of the antiemetic, and they didn't reply, so I presumed that meant I couldn't. So I got a doctor's appointment for next Monday, and it was really early in the morning, and I was really not looking forward to it. My dad went into the GP surgery to pick up a different prescription, a prescription for my diabetes medication, and lo and behold, there was also a prescription for the antiemetic. What? It totally threw me. It made no sense. I was just so surprised. And we also found out that I can get a phone appointment with the doctor instead of having to go in all the time super early in the morning. So I cancelled the appointment I have next Monday and switched it to a phone appointment for the Monday after. So it's a little while away, but it's not as important now I have the new prescription. So that was all good. So then my dad took me to the pharmacy, but he somehow managed to lose one of them on the way to the pharmacy. Luckily, it was not the antiemetic, it was the diabetes medication. So he's now just had to call up the doctors and being like, look, I've lost a prescription, we need to get another one quickly. They were like, okay, can't have it today, but you have to get it on Monday. Luckily, I have enough medication to last me until Monday. But it's just been a very, very weird day. But the outcome is still positive, so that's really good. So today marks the end of another 2 weeks, the end of another video. Although this last fortnight has definitely had days where I haven't been feeling good at all, generally I think it's been okay because I've been eating better, I've been sleeping better, and that has such an effect on how you feel day to day, not just physically obviously, but mentally too. I'm just so relieved that I'm finally coming out of this bad phase that I've been in for the past 2 months. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye!